I now invite Marie Bourke from the National Gallery of Ireland.
I wonder if I could ask my colleague to find my presentation because I haven't a clue where it is. Thanks a million.
Which one?
Burke. Oh, I gave it this morning. Where is it? No.
Somebody moved it. Burke.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
As my daughter would say, the presentation got itself moved. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you to my colleagues for inviting me to make what will be a very short presentation. And because it's very short, I'm going to focus on something very small and very simple, and that is art packs, which are ways of engaging visitors creatively with the collections. By way of introducing this presentation, I just wanted to mention that over half of the National Gallery of Ireland is closed at the moment because we're undergoing a refurbishment programme. The historic wing is closed. The roofs, which are listed, are being refurbished. So it's the modern wing that's open. So this is the entrance that visitors come in. And by and large, when they come in, what they want to see, even though museums are for people, what people want to see in museums is the collections, because the collections are at the heart of the museum. So the range of collections that they might be looking at are Poussin, Vermeer, Canova, Gainsborough, Goya, two Irish artists, Roderick O'Connor, and probably one of our most well-known artists, Jack B. Yeats, who's brother of the poet William Butler Yeats. Now, when the visitors come into the new wing, because it's a much smaller gallery at the moment, one of the things they're looking for is ways to interact with the collections. And because we're a small country with about 4 to 5 million visitors, repeat visitors are very important to us. There are an awful lot of different ways whereby you can interact with the collections. You can have a lecture, a seminar, a tour. As you can see here, there's a tour. There are people with floor plans and catalogues interacting. There are people with disabilities going around. There's a young girl with her mobile phone and she's downloading information. There are lots of different ways to interact with the collections. But one small thing that we've developed in the last 7 or 8 years is Pacts. Pacts for specifically different age groups. We started off with family packs, and this is a very plain pack because it's sponsored. The original ones were very colourful. These packs are for 2 age groups, very small children and small children. And they're designed that when a parent comes, they choose the age of the children and what packs they want to use with them. Before we devised these packs, we did a lot of research on them. We handed out a number of questionnaires, and they told us that parents wanted some sort of tool to use in the gallery with their children because they didn't want to go to officially organised events. So this is a family pack. You've got a rough idea of what it looks like inside, the different kinds of tools and equipment provided, and a very happy child. The next kind of pack is a creative writing and drawing kit. And these packs were designed really for teenagers and young adults. And the reason we thought about these is that we have an atrium workspace in the gallery. We don't have any dedicated education spaces in the National Gallery. We just use whatever is available. We've got this big atrium space, and we have tables and equipment laid out, and people just drop in and use it any way they want. That in itself is a study in its own. You could do a PhD on that atrium workspace. It would tell you more about the movement and learning needs of the public than anything else, because nobody controls it. You can do what you want there. And what often happens is groups of teenagers come in wearing black and grey, as is their wont, and they will sit around the table in a huddle, and they will will all work together. And the great thing about the atrium workspace is that there's collection over here, and there's collection over there, but there's none in the atrium. It's like the lungs of the gallery where you can breathe again. And they huddle around a table, and they take their sheets of paper, and they draw spaceships, horses, anything. They might draw from the collection or whatever. The idea of the creative writing and drawing kits is they could pick them up. They're smart little, very light briefcases. And there's 2 little books. One is little, very simple guides on drawing techniques done by young people. And the other one is a few ideas about jotting down your thoughts while you're in the gallery, whether it's a little poem or whether it's a piece of text or whatever. Very simple. And here you see 2 different age groups using it. Even if they're my staff, it doesn't matter. It's just an idea to show you how they work. Now, this is the one that I really wanted to focus on. We were 2 years working on these packs. They're called art packs for adults of all ages, but they're not really. They're really for older people. But the problem with the term older people is you can't use it. People are not comfortable with it. What am I talking about when I'm saying older people? Well, I normally say I'm talking about anybody over the age of 40. But really with pacts like these, I'm talking about anybody over the age of 60. And the interesting thing is in our countries, even though there are over 41% of the population in Ireland under 25, in most countries, it's the older population. And when you talk about providing packs like these, you can't describe them as for older people. But older people are smart, they're intelligent, they're experienced, they're wise, they're active, and they want to do something when they're in museums. And most of all, they want it to be worthwhile. Worthwhile is the key word. So we started experimenting around with ideas that they could use. We tried them out. Over a year ago, we did about 5 different trials with the public. And arising from those trials, we had to change the packs every single time. We got it wrong every single time. But the people kept telling us how they wanted them done. So this is what the pack looks like now. It's a very light, flexible, very easy to carry little unit. It's divided into 2 halves. One is all about information for people who don't like to do things. So it's all kinds of light little bits of information about the collection, about why people like different pictures, about what to see, etc. The other side of the pack is about the doing things. It's where you're asked questions, or where you might be drawing something, or where you might answer something. And it ends up with an art Sudoku and an arty word search. And the idea is that you go to the cafe and you do these. Now, I would like to be quite clear that we actually don't want people to do all of this on their visit to the gallery. And we'd prefer if they didn't do it on their own. What we want people to do is to come in 2s and 3s and to do a bit of it together, and then to go off and have a coffee, and then to go home and to come back another day and do another little bit. The idea is that these are here all the time, free. You can use them anytime. You borrow them, you hand them back. Every pack, all these packs, have evaluation forms at the end. So you can tell us what you don't like about them, and in that way we keep changing them. You don't need a credit card to get them. You just fill in a little form, we give them to you, you hand them back. We lose a few because some of them mysteriously disappear, but there isn't a rate of loss that bothers us. Sometimes people take the leaflets from inside them. They like the information and they wander off with it. We're not bothered. In fact, we're very happy if they take the information because it means they want it. We just replace it. So I just wanted to show you these and some people trying them out. Remember, I said they're for older people, not younger people, but we gave you a mixture of people. You can see they're trying to figure out what to do. This is, again, just another description of what it looks like with the floor plan leading you in different directions. There they are again. They're looking a bit happier about it. I'm finished. And that's what we're looking for. Happy, satisfied, fulfilled customers. Thank you.